All right, and we are a go. Welcome to our very first podcast. My name is Brooks Swift. I'm the founder of SmackDab, and this is going to be the SmackDab podcast. In the studio today with me, I have Brian Good, my chief growth officer.
Revenue.
I have Brian Good, our chief revenue officer. He's here to interview me, ask me a few questions, and kick off this podcast because we have no idea how this is going to go. We're going to just wing it. So let's have some fun, shall we? All right, Brian, you're up.
All right. Thank you, Brooks. It's a pleasure to be here. And I've had the pleasure of knowing you for a long time. I think we should give everybody out there the opportunity to get to know you a little bit better, too. As a bit of a background, I've worked with you through bringing on a company called iPoint, and we are now doing another company together. And if you don't mind, tell us a little about yourself and sort of why you do what you do.
Oh, well, why do I do? So, what was the question?
I think the question was, why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? Well, I do what I do because I love solving problems. So I learned a while back that I function best when I have a big problem to solve, and I can start breaking down the pieces and solving the puzzle, like a big picture puzzle. Like I can't stand put it together puzzles. They drive me nuts. But high level, like how do you figure this out puzzles is what I love to do. And one of my skill sets is distilling that down into actionable pieces. So in the early days, I was a home automation installation company, and we sold speakers and home automation systems. And it was fun. You had to figure out how to put all these pieces together, right? And make them all work together. And that's really where I got started. And I learned how to program lighting control systems. And when the downturn came, like the '08 downturn, things changed for me. Life kind of reset. I exited the companies I'd started there, and I ended up in software creating a platform to run that kind of company. So it was a good fit for me because I love how to solve problems, right? And creating a software that was basically designed to solve problems. So it was like the perfect fit. I'm a little bit of an introvert. So for me, not having to be out in front of people all the time, which here I am on camera, so who knows? But it provided me an opportunity to use my skill sets of looking at a situation, talking to businesses and understanding the challenges that they went through. Of course, I went through my own challenges, right? And so we were able to, I was in the early days by myself, able to work through and create a platform that specifically addressed the problems in those days of AV installation companies, because that's where I came from. So I built software to run an AV company. And it still is today. We still have that platform. It's called iPoint, which is, how you and I met, Brian, back in the day, right? So I grew that company big enough that I needed some help and brought you in to help me do sales. And that was, oh my gosh, over 10 years ago.
10 years ago now.
Wow. Time flies. So 10 years later, we still have iPoint that's still up and running. And we've recently gone to work about 3 years ago, actually. We're 3 years into this adventure of building a whole new generation of platform that isn't just tailored to the AV industry, although that's definitely where my heart is and our customer base. So we are doing two things at the same time. We are, one, creating a next gen platform to replace our previous application called iPoint, while also creating a platform that is not niched. It's a platform that is adaptable to any industry, and that's called SmackDab. So this is the SmackDab podcast. So I don't know, that was a really long-winded answer to your question of why I do what I do.
Well, that's very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. So tell me about SmackDab. What is SmackDab?
SmackDab is an application that helps businesses consolidate a lot of dispersed operational processes, right? So CRM is a common word that gets thrown out, but what I've learned is a lot of people have no idea what the word CRM actually means. So I don't like talking about it in that term of CRM. Instead, it's an application to help you grow. And we do that by helping you track your customers who you're talking to. We do that through email. We can consolidate your email, your phone conversations, um, whatever that interaction might be, consolidate that into a single application so that when that customer calls you, right on SmackDab, we can say, hey, you've got an incoming call, right? You pick it up, and right there is all that customer information. And from there, it expands into every facet around sales at this point in time. So, not every business needs every component, but we can handle things like scheduling. If you want to have a booking link that's on your website, or if you want to send out an invite to someone to schedule some time with you, we facilitate that. We, like I mentioned, have a phone integration so you can record your phone calls, get AI transcriptions and summaries. We have activities where you can schedule yourself to a task to go take care of something. So it takes all of the sales activities for a business and your customer relationship management, CRM, and wraps it into a single platform.
Excellent. Excellent. That sounds complicated. How, in order to accomplish that, what sort of tools or what sort of intelligence were you able to manifest to help you bring that to life?
Well, are we talking people or machine intelligence? Are we talking about AI at this point?
I was trying to go there. I was trying to lead into it.
All right. Leading question, AI. So what ChatGPT burst onto the scenes like 2 years ago, right? So before that, I had already envisioned using some form of automation, artificial intelligence before ChatGPT was announced to the world. And we continue for that today. That is our mission. And that's why we have a .ai domain. So we are smackdab.ai. And the whole concept around AI today seems to be about, it's replacing people. So the whole idea of AI today is like, look, you are if you're Amazon, you can use robots with AI, or if you're an office worker, we can have AI like do your job for you. So the corporate world and unfortunately the marketing around this is, look, you can maximize your profits by getting rid of your people. We vehemently disagree with that concept. So at SmackDab, we think that people come first and people are the most important part of a company. So our mission with AI is not to allow a company to get rid of their people, but we believe that people do best what only people can do. As humans, we want like connection. We want to shake someone's hand. I want to look you in the eye and agree on something. I want to get creative and brainstorm, about what we could accomplish. I don't want to do that with a machine. And I don't think your customers, you guys, would want that either. So we think that we can use SmackDab with artificial intelligence to not replace people, but to pick up and allow you as a customer facing person to spend more time engaging with your customers, to solidify the relationships, which are what is going to drive retention. You want your customers to continue to do business with you. You want to create an environment that is welcoming, a trustworthy environment. And we do that through human connection. So our .ai is not going to be designed to replace your people, but it's going to be designed to enhance their ability to focus on the human relationship and let the machines do the busy work. Hopefully that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Absolutely. So when you talk about things that AI can do for you, do you have some examples?
So let's do some basics. So there's some really advanced stuff you can do. But let's just do it at a higher level, the simplistic level first. And that would be, you have a sales meeting coming up with a potential client. It's someone that you've actually been doing business with for a lot of years. You have a lot of history of jobs that you've done together, history and emails, conversations, right? And you might be a new salesperson, though, that's going to be interacting with this customer. How in the world do you get up to speed on that history? Traditionally, you probably can't. With SmackDab, because we can consolidate all of that information, and then our AI can give you a summary of all of those interactions. You could have a sales call coming up today, and we can provide you a 10-minute briefing that brings you up to speed on all of the high lights of of that relationship over the previous years. So there's one example. I can give you more.
Oh, I want to dig into that for a second. So you're saying that SmackDub can actually aggregate all of the different forms of communication that previous sales reps have had.
Mhm.
So if there's a new sales rep that comes on, they're literally going to be able to read an AI transcript and get caught up on what's going on.
Right. And not just like a transcript of one thing, but because we can sync up the emails, the historical emails, we can actually consolidate all of that and those previous interactions into a updated summary. And then we can also include any information that's about the current deal that might be happening as well. So any notes that you've left. So it's not just even communication history, it's the notes that have been put on the account. So if there have been previous deals that have taken place, if there are notes that have been put in there, if there are documents that have been added to the SmackDab history, the AI can go in and consolidate all of that and say, okay, you've got a deal coming up, a meeting about talking through the home theater. And in the past, you've had 3 transactions with this customer. They've been with you for 12 years. Whatever the history can tell us, the AI can quickly summarize that for you. And even if you've been doing business and it's the same, you're the same guy that's been working with them all along. It's if you work with a lot of people, like we can lose track, right? So it's easy to get a quick recap, a reminder of here's what you've done in the past, here's what you're working on today.
Excellent. Excellent. That there's definitely value in that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So customer relationship management, going back to the term itself. I worked for you for iPoint and I was the community relationship manager.
Yeah.
And as we start this new venture, the ability to build another community is very exciting to me.
Right.
I want to just sort of talk about the opportunity. It seems like a really big opportunity ahead of us.
Yeah, from a community standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's extremely important. So just as I outlined earlier about how AI is not something that we look at as a replacement, but we value the human connection. And so for us, we are going to have a big emphasis on our community. We're going to have SmackDab staff engaging continually with our community through community forums, through trainings and webinars. We really want to hear from the people who are using our application so we can learn, one, how they're using it, but what their needs are so that we can continue to evolve and address the challenges that businesses are facing. What's different this time, though, right, is before we were in a niche. So it was a very similar situation. All of our companies had a similar job role, right? Business. Now we're no longer going to be niche. And so it's going to be a new opportunity to figure out how can different types of companies and businesses help each other. And that's going to be an interesting part of the evolution of SmackDab, because with the focus on community and the bringing different businesses together and business owners and great minds, people who like to think, we want to be able to facilitate those people connecting. A lot of times you have to go out and join different groups. And, for us, having a focus group around SmackDab where these people can come together and we can facilitate these meetings is an exciting opportunity for us as well.
Absolutely. So is there a community established around SmackDab?
There is. Yeah. You can go today to community.smackdab.ai and join our community.
Excellent. Excellent. This is great. So what are you most excited about regarding SmackDab?
Most excited about.
I'll tell you what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I am most excited about the opportunity to build this with a group of people that I've known for a long time and truly, truly appreciate, so that we're going to be able to leverage our individual experiences and provide a service to everybody else.
Yeah.
I think that's what excites me most about this.
Great. I think that for me, it's fulfilling a larger mission. My why, and if you've ever read the book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why, my why is not about software. It's always been around people. And I've always strived internally to try to create an environment where people can grow, where people feel valued and are given autonomy and are encouraged to seek out not only professional growth, but personal growth. And the thing about Smack Dab that excites me is the ability to take again, disperse group of people and to find businesses and business owners who are of like mind in that they value their people. Inside of Smack Dab, we're going to create something called growth tracks. And you might think, what does a business software have any business doing creating growth tracks? And the reason is, and what I found when we tried to do this internally at iPoint in the past is accountability is hard. Like you get to work and all of our people worked from home. Like you have a lot of flexibility here. But the problem is you sit down for your day and you start working. You get a phone call and it's, even though we encouraged people to we had an MBS, Mind, Body, Soul program, hardly anybody stuck with it. Because unless there is a continual accountability to, hey, take time for yourself, take a moment to grow, it's just so easy to get caught up in your daily grind, your daily work. And then as soon as work's done, you're off to your family stuff. Okay, all that back to Smack Dab. We want to create inside of Smack Dab these growth tracks. So we're all about community. We're all about personal growth. And inside of a company, we have a captive audience. So because we facilitate almost every aspect of your interactions, if you're in sales, and the cool thing is Smack Dab is actually going to continue to evolve into a full operations platform where we're going to bring in, if you're a service company and you have an installation crew, we intend to provide an avenue for them to work out of Smack Dab as well. So no matter what your business does, Smack Dab should facilitate the operations. So when you have a captive audience of people, we now have a unique opportunity to become an accountability partner. So wellness tracks inside of Smack Dab will be designed that as an employer, you want to recognize and promote wellness. And you allow your people to select from various growth tracks. That could be a professional track. If you're in sales, we'll have professional growth tracks in sales where we help teach sales, communication strategies, everything around sales. If you're a technician, we're going to teach customer service because if you're a technical person, you are in sales. I know this sounds crazy, but every person that is in front of another person, if you're in front of a customer and you work for a company, you are in sales. You are selling the culture of that company. And so I don't care if you're in sales or you're an installer or you're a warehouse guy, you're always at some form in sales or you're a part of the company culture, which is ultimately leading to sales. So we want to provide that wellness track so that you are held accountable to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day to improve yourself. And we'll allow the employers a lot of selection here. But I mean, my vision is that it's just as important for you to grow personally. If you want to learn about writing skills or whatever it is, we don't know what's important to you, but maybe it's learning to do meditation. Like, I think as long as we're promoting growth in people, they're growing. And if they're growing, you as a company, you as a business owner, you're growing. One of our core values at Smack Dab is, I'm going to paraphrase, but it's recognizing success, which means recognize success through the success of others, not ourselves, right? So we don't ever look at ourselves and go, oh, I'm so great because of X, Y, and Z. It's my job is to facilitate your growth. And as you do great things, I naturally get the benefit of your growth and your success, right? So taking that whole idea forward means invest in your people, help them grow, and you will reap rewards because of that growth in your people. So wellness tracks, and we're certainly still working on this. It's something that's not actually in the software yet. We're outlining how it's going to work. But I'd love to have the opportunity to partner with some great names in the self-help industry and the business growth industry and provide some really cool avenues for people to grow. And then on the backside of that is we're going to have a rewards center. So not only is it congratulations within your accountability of a team, but as an employer, you could actually provide incentives for the completion of these wellness tracks. So wrapping it all up, I'm excited about that. That's my why. I am passionate about giving people growth opportunities. teaching them to grow, helping them grow, and the ability to facilitate that through a business operations platform is something I don't think anyone else has ever done before.
Absolutely. And having had the pleasure of working with you for years, it is important to have an accountability partner when it comes to growth, because all of the opportunity in the world doesn't pull out of you what being supported to do will. And I have appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian, what do you like about your job? Let's turn this around here.
Well, I love my job. When we first started, when I first started with SmackDab, I was under the impression that I was going to really be taking a platform and talking other people into selling it, right?
Yeah.
But I have so much more opportunity than that.
Yeah.
I really do. And I just didn't understand the breadth of the opportunity in front of me. And I need to get better. I'm continuing to get better every day. I'm working, very hard to improve myself to make sure that I am able to take full advantage of the opportunity put in front of me. But the ability to be the chief revenue officer really grants me the capability of directly impacting the future growth of
Right.
SmackDab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and building that network, and not only that, but also as a product manager, being involved in the sales process and outlining that. That's my background. And in the years that we've worked together, I've been the sole, sales representative, if you will, for iPoint. Every company that's came on nearly came through me. There are a few that were from before, but that's another thing about iPoint and just about the culture that you've created that I really love is that the majority of those companies that were there before I came on are still there today.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot to the power of really building a relationship, specifically in an industry where things change so quickly, as well as the quality of the actual platform itself.
All right. Well, I think that's probably enough for our first podcast. If you sat around and stayed to the end, thank you. This is going to be something we're going to be continuing to do. We're going to dive deep into some of the things that SmackDab does, and we're going to cover business in general. What are some of the challenges that you guys face, and not just within SmackDab, but how do you solve some of those challenges? So we're going to dive into all kinds of topics. We're going to have a lot of fun on this podcast. We're going to be inviting people to come down to Marco Island where we're at and to hang out and be guests on the show. So if you want to do that, reach out to us. Also, if you have some ideas, some things that you'd like to know about from my perspective, please let us know at podcast.smackdab.ai. Thanks for hanging out.